Hello everyone, welcome back. Jolene here from Bookworm Adventure Girl. If you are watching for the first time, thanks for checking out my channel. If you are interested in diverse reading and Canadian literature, then please hit subscribe and stick around. We are just coming up to the halfway point in February. This weekend we celebrate Valentine's Day, and this Monday is a holiday for us. We celebrate Family Day. So happy long weekend to anyone else who is celebrating. There are a number of books being published in March that are on my radar, so I thought that I would share a few of them with you. I have 9 books to share with you. The publishing dates that I have are the Canadian or US publishing dates, and they were accurate at the time that I recorded this video, but they are subject to change, so the best thing is to always check with the publisher. First up, I couldn't do this video without including Stephen King. Stephen King has a new book coming out on March 2nd called Later. And at first, I love the cover of this mystery thriller book. The main character is Jamie Conklin, and Jamie was born with this unnatural ability that his mother doesn't really want him to let anybody know about. And Jamie can see and learn what others can't. And he gets involved in a case that an NYPD detective is investigating. And the detective is pursuing a killer who has threatened to strike from beyond the grave. So this is a crime novel with a bit of horror and suspense, and it sounds like with some really great characters. I have 3 books to talk about that will be published on March 9th. First is A Funny Kind of Paradise by Jo Owens. At 70 years old, Francesca is ready for a happy retirement, but she has a massive stroke that leaves her nonverbal and partially paralyzed. But her mind is still sharp. So from the goings on in the care facility where she is and the memories in her mind, we learn a lot about Francesca's life and her family. Next up is a debut novel called The Little French Bridal Shop by Jennifer Dupee. Larissa Pearl is the protagonist, and she returns to her hometown in Massachusetts to take care of her great-aunt's estate. Larissa has a lot going on in her life, and when she goes by this bridal shop, she falls in love with a wedding dress and purchases it. She starts planning her wedding and making all the preparations. Everyone in town is so excited for her, but Larissa is missing one important piece, and that's the groom. So this is a story of truth and lies and what happens when Larissa allows a fantasy to go a bit too far. Next is Half-Life by Krista Foss. Ellen Henriksen is a single parent who's having a lot of trouble with her daughter. She's worried about her mother's health, and there is tension with her and her boss. In 10 days, she is going to a ceremony that is honoring her late father, and she knows that she will have to face her estranged siblings. And then strange packages start showing up on her doorstep, and the only way Ellen is working through these things is by confiding to a dead physicist. So this seems to be a book about memory, facing the truth, and family dynamics. On March 16th, another debut novel called The Memory Collectors by Neville will be published, and I really like the concept of this book. It is a story of 2 women, Ev, who feels the emotions of people when they leave behind objects, and in another part of town is Harriet, who is collecting these objects and causing trouble with her neighbors because the abundance of all of these heightened emotions starts to seep through the walls. So when the 2 women meet, they decide to work together to create a museum of memory that will be healing. But that's not so simple. And I think that this is going to be an intriguing book about how our emotions affect others without us really being aware of it. Next up is The World of After by Stephen Henighan. This story takes place in the early 1900s. Kevin is an Irish Montrealer who goes to Oxford University. And there Kevin meets Leon and Alex. And their relationships are complicated. Leon is from London. He is a Jew from a communist family. Alex was raised in Toronto and is a Soviet defector's son. Eventually, Alex begins to pull away and starts spending more time with an undergraduate that he's been tutoring. And then jealousy causes Kevin and Leon to play a prank on Alex. And the consequences of this prank binds the three of them forever. The nonfiction book that I have on this list is by one of my all-time favorite authors. I think this is one of my most anticipated books of 2021 for sure. Lisa Genova's book, Remember, The Science of Memory and the Art of Forgetting, is being published on March 23rd. I have loved every book that Lisa Genova has published, but this is the first nonfiction one, and in it she talks about why our memories are amazing, but that it's also normal and part of the human experience to forget. Also being published on March 23rd is The Willowren by Philipp Schott, or Schott, I'm not sure how he pronounces it. And what appeals to me most about this story is that it's based on a true story, and it's told by an 11-year-old boy named Ludwig. Ludwig is an odd child who gets sent to a Hitler youth camp, and he becomes an easy target for bullying. When the Nazis abandon the camp, Ludwig returns home to find his mother in a deep state of depression. His father is presumed dead, and the chances of his 3 younger siblings and really the entire family starving to death is quite real. And it's now up to Ludwig to help his family stay alive under Russian occupation. And finally, coming out at the end of the month on March 31st is The Octopus Has 3 Hearts by Rachel Rose. This is a debut collection of short stories, and the stories are interconnected in that the characters get along better with animals than with other people. And the setup to the collection is with the character of Roxanne. Her husband has passed away, her daughter was murdered, but what Roxanne believes is that they are still keeping her company through the forms of a wiener dog and a standard poodle. Then Roxanne accidentally hits a pit bull with her car, and she recognizes the eyes of her daughter's killer in the pit bull. And now she has a decision to make, whether she'll go for revenge or forgiveness. So those are the books that I've been interested in that are coming out in March. I will leave a list of all of the books that I've mentioned in this video in the description box below. Please let me know if you are interested in any of these, or let me know if you have other books that you're looking forward to reading in March. I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and don't forget to make every day an adventure.